Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Graham Moore, and it's always good to be with you. And it's always good to be with my two colleagues, Mohammed Shukri in Bahrain and Bibi Francis in Dubai. Where's Bibi? What
Where's Phoebe?
what's Bibi? Ah, well, I'm sorry to tell everybody that our good friend, our wise friend, Bibi, is unwell. He's done well, and we're going to give him a little bit of time to get his voice back and feel a little bit more confident. He told me that he caught a very severe cold from his son, who was being very generous and decided to share his cold with his father. Children, aren't they kind? Oh my gosh, I've got a terrible cold. Share it with my dear father, and we all hope that Phoebe recovers really very soon, don't we,
Wish
Mohammed?
you well soon, Phoebe, wherever you are.
And
So we miss you.
he's in the fog of cold and those terrible symptoms which we all know about. So let me just focus on what we are here for. As I've said before several times, my name's Graham Moore, Certified Master of Leadership Challenge. Leadership Challenge is widely recognised globally, one of the most, if not the most, widely recognised leadership program. It's been around for 40 years. It can't be too bad if it's been around 40 years. The latest edition of the book, seventh edition. Seventh edition. Tell me how many leadership books have been beyond two editions or three editions. This is seven. So that means it's very good material. So now that there's just two of us, that might indicate to some people that I like working with you, Mohammed, and so who needs to have video? Because I really like our conversations. I think you're really wonderful to have these chats with, and I'm sure that it's going to be really good for everybody. So are you happy with that, Mohammed?
I am happy with that, but you're indicating something that's coming in the pipeline. I wonder which part of leadership are you practicing now?
Well, kind of practicing encourages the heart, I suppose, but maybe I'm crossing the line. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
crossing the line. So what's the line, Mohammed? What am I doing?
Maybe you are over, what's the word? Over favoring me in a way as your team member, all right, like giving me more attention, giving me more spotlight and more recognition.
You
And
deserve.
although my team mates are watching how you talk to me and how you favor me, I feel I am in a danger zone.
Do you? Do you think if Phoebe, when Phoebe listens to this, he might think, "What's going on? Why is Graham talking like this to Mohammed?" Well, he might think that, mightn't he?
Oh, yeah, and this time I think all sorts of thoughts you can imagine going in the heads of your team members, Graham, if you bring someone to a position where they are seen uh, or at least imagined they are favorite to you. You are preferred by you. Sorry.
Yeah. So the word we might use is favourites, but I'm playing favourite,
Mm.
and I think when we talk about this, we might also observe that this is something that managers might do a little bit more than leaders. Why do you think a manager might do this? Play favourites. Why do you think a manager might do that?
Well, a manager is after results, and whoever performs better results, more results, so he will be, a friend of that person, and that person will be his or her favorite. But if we look only about, from that angle of results, then you are not a leader. A leader looks at results, but beyond them.
Yeah, let's look at some statistics at the moment, just to qualify this. Let's just say I am a leader and I have three people in my team. Who do I give the attention to?
Yeah. As a leader, everyone.
Everyone, all three. If I've got eight, I give it to everyone. But if I've got more than that, it's to everyone. It might be easy to focus on one person or another, mightn't it? because you've got rapport, you've got a good relationship with them, and might be related to
Hmm.
you know that they are good at doing things, so you give them those opportunities. This is what managers might do. As you said, managers want to get the job done and get it done quickly, so they'll perhaps favour some who don't necessarily, but they don't deserve it. What's going to happen if I do happen to favour someone and others think that that's not deserved? What's going to happen?
Of course, there will be a drop in morale, definitely. And people will not stop at what they see. They will assume. What's more dangerous than what I see is what I assume. Then they will draw stories of why this leader is favoring so and so. I think they have this in between. I think he is planning to do bring him to promotion. I think. So you will be suddenly, as a leader, dipped in a sea of assumptions which you don't need at this stage. Whereas all you did is you favored someone based on facts, but it's the way you favored him, probably. Yeah, I'm assuming again.
Yeah, let's look at some scenarios. Let's just say that every month, I don't mind the time frame, every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, the leader of the team identifies one person in the team who's performed really, really well.
Hmm.
And so I just want to say in the last week, I've just noticed what Marianne's been doing. She's been doing some great things, and she's just lives the values of this organization. And I know I can trust her in everything that she does. So thank you very much, Marianne. What happens if I do that again next week? And then the next week? What is the whisper going to be in the team?
Mariam is Graham's favorite employee. Yeah.
What does it do for their ability or interest, desire to perform well?
Yeah, I've been there, Graham, and people's desire will go, I mean, down low. And it's the desire which is more important than the results, because the results are driven by the inner drive. So, yeah, that will be very detrimental to the drive and desire. Agree.
I think it absolutely erodes motivation. And it erodes motivation for Mariam because she knows every week I'm going to say good things about Mariam. So she doesn't need to be performing at her best and more every time because she's going to get my recognition. So her motivation will likely dip. And the motivation of the others to perform well, why bother? Why should we try? Graham, is only focused on giving Mariam encouragement. I'll just do my job and we'll see what happens. Now, what happens generally, though, in the first instance, when I recognize someone for what they've done, what happens amongst the team? If I said, this week, I really do need to mention Sarah. She's done a great job. So what do people feel about that, Phil?
Yeah, that is to me a different ball game,
Yeah,
because recognition is different than being favoritism. Like if any good performance goes unnoticed, unacknowledged, unrecognized, that's also detrimental to everyone. You
absolutely.
actually are setting a very good example that a good job will be recognized. Therefore, I will do a good job so that I'm recognized as Mariam is. That is what a leader intends to do, and he has no specific names. He has people who have done good performances, and those performances will be recognized. And if a leader does what he says he would do, there you go.
But also, when I recognize someone in my team, others in the team, particularly if they know I'm not playing favourites,
Hmm.
they know that I'm not playing favourites, and I recognise someone. Mahmoud, this is what Mahmoud's done this week. The team around are all internally going to think, I want what he's got. And what he's got in that
Yes.
moment is my recognition for what he's done. And internally they think, I want that. So
Yes, and you said that clearly. See, model the way is our first practice, and if the leader keeps doing this consistently, they are habitualized to you, accustomed to seeing you in a way that they know this pattern is not breakable. Our leader will not favor someone based on favoritism. He
yep.
is doing it as we saw in the past. All right, he is doing it based on performance, and he does not have anyone favorite, but he does give recognition.
And look, the recognition that the leader's giving should be equitable. It should be fair, right? It's not just,
Yes.
oh, I've chosen Mahmoud today because it's his turn. Now, here's a specific example that someone shared with me in Abu Dhabi some years ago. This was actually a little bit different to recognition as such. It was about the performance review and the ranking or the rating that the staff members were given. And he said, last year I got the top rating and I worked at it. I really worked to get it. And he said, I got that ranking and I was so pleased and I was determined to keep working like that and hopefully get the same ranking in this year. So when this year came around and it was time for performance review, a colleague at the same level as me, who repeatedly was late for work, repeatedly, who typically would miss deadlines and was not performing well at all. And he then said, my manager gave him the same rating that I got last year. And he said, when I questioned my manager about this, my manager's response was, well, I had to do it. It was his turn. I had to be kind to him because it was his turn. So in this case, he was rewarding bad behavior because he believed that this gentleman should be receiving a high. No, what should have happened is some development process along the way and some performance management, not just giving him a high rating because he thought it was his turn. So let's have another
I,
example. Yeah.
I can I add an example also? When I was an employee, you reminded me when I was an employee, and for some term of a specific manager, there was a scheme that people would be given a specific recognition for good performance, good performance. And I spent years doing my best, months, okay, not consistently, but I reached to heights where I actually, according to the definition and the behavior, I deserved. And I didn't get it. And years went by. Then changes happened in the department, and I applied for a transfer. When I applied for a transfer, me and my colleagues also, suddenly uh, I saw my name as a candidate, or I was a candidate to get that recognition, and I got that recognition. It's a specific scheme, not going to name it, but I got it where my morale was the lowest, and my performance was average. It was not at that height, so I didn't get the reward when I desired it, and I got it when I didn't deserve it. You know what I mean, right? And it didn't mean anything to me at that time.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. Getting the reward at the right time for the right reasons is very key. And people cannot debate that, especially your team member. They know the reward was based on facts, not based on favorism.
Absolutely correct. Because if you, as an individual, you're working hard in the team to deliver a great result, and you are recognized for that, you know that you are rewarded for the effort that you put in. You know that you worked hard to do that. So then at some stage, if you're given an award or recognition for work that you've supposedly done, and yet you have been dragging the chain, to use a metaphor that I haven't used for a long time, where you have not been working at your best, what does it mean for you to receive that award?
Even I wasn't happy. I mean, imagine.
You're either going to think, well, that was pretty easy, I'll do that again next year, or I don't have to work hard at all, really, and I'm still going to get an award. How come? It's not going to have the value for you. You're not being rewarded for extraordinary performance. It's like you're being rewarded because of the name you have in the alphabet, and they've come to
Yeah.
Chukri.
Yes.
Who are the S's? Okay, we'll give it to Mohammed Chukri.
It's a quota, like a quota, you know. We reached the quota, that's it.
Yeah, we reached the quota, so no more, no more. So this is where it's got to be valid. So let me
Yeah.
give you another example. This is kind of a
Mhm.
hypothetical, but it occurs. Let's just say that you're managing a sales team, and the sales team have got monthly targets to achieve. And the sales manager is going to be pretty hard on the case, making sure that everybody meets their targets. And when I say this, there's a couple of memories jumping to mind about someone who was extremely well performing. That's not the best way to express that in English, but this is a woman. She was a high performer, and she would be getting reminders from her manager 2 weeks in the middle of the month about, are you going to make this, and are you going to do this? Are you going to? She would be almost demotivated because she always got the best result. And she would say to me, why are you saying to me now? I've got 2 more weeks, and of course I'll get those results. She wasn't needing someone to push her at that time. She knew that she was going to do well. So let's talk about a hypothetical and say, we'll use the name Muhammad. It's the favorite name of a lot of people. And we'll say Muhammad in the sales team is a high performer. For whatever it is, he gets great results every month. Sometimes the economy has an effect on his sales results and he doesn't do as well, but he's usually the top performer every month. And there's 5 or 6 other members in the team, and their monthly figures are kind of up and down. And there's one team member, and we'll call him Abdullah. Abdullah is down kind of about 4 and 5 in terms of where he ranks every month. Muhammad is up the top. Sometimes Muhammad gets really, really high, and others go, wow, and give Muhammad a big round of applause every month. Muhammad thinks, yep, this is really good. I worked hard and I get it. I'm not saying you shouldn't get the award, but here's another report that comes this next month. And when the report comes, when we're looking at the figures, Muhammad is right up there, doing really well. Yeah, he might have dropped a little bit, but he's really, really very good. Now, remember I said a minute ago that our friend Abdullah was usually ranking around about 4th in the team. He plods along, as we say. He doesn't get great results. And this month, so he was number 4. This month, he's now number 2. He's come up from number 4 to number 2. He's not knocked off Muhammad from the top, but he's up there. So who should the leader recognize that month? Muhammad or
I
Abdullah?
would say, I would say Abdullah.
Yeah.
It's Abdullah, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you ignore Muhammad. I would be saying, if I was that, I would say, we all know that Muhammad works really hard and gets great results, but there's someone particularly that we need to congratulate and recognize this month. By the way, did you notice the change in my presentation of that? The way I was vocalizing that, the energy that I put into it, someone else you've got to recognize because of what they did. And this is Abdullah. Abdullah was here the previous month, but now he's here in this month. This is the best figures that Abdullah has had in the time he's been with the company. So Abdullah, well done. This is fantastic.
I mean, also, what stops a leader from generating different types of recognition, not based on one data? If the data of the sales says Muhammad is at the top, you can create another criteria another parameter. Why not? Okay, the fastest growing is Abdullah. All right. And the best percentage is I don't know who, something like this. All right.
Yeah.
So you are showing them that it's not a single person. These are performances, and we are recognizing people who meet them.
By the way, if the scenario was as I painted it, that is, Muhammad's still number one. Abdullah has moved up from down here to being number two and close to being at Muhammad's level. If I encourage Abdullah, what's likely to happen in the next month because I've encouraged him? Sure, I'm going to recognize Muhammad, but what's going to happen, do you think?
Because of encouraging Abdullah.
Because of Abdullah's going to work. Abdullah's going to say, I can get there. I can beat Muhammad.
Yes.
Because I recognize what a great improvement it was.
Yes.
And I might even say, Muhammad, I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to help Abdullah be even more successful this month. How about that? Oh, because I want them all to perform well, but I want them all to know that when they perform well, I'm going to help them perform even more. I'm going to help them recognize what they have done. Not just, oh, here's Abdullah, he's number one on the list again. Good on you, Muhammad. Here's your bonus. No, we've got to recognize performance. Remember in our last video, we talked about performance, leadership and performance. This is the way that the leader is going to improve performance. He doesn't just focus on the most successful person. No, you've got to help everybody perform at their best.
And that's encouraging the heart, the fifth practice. And I see something emerging as we talk, Graham. It is taken from the first word you used at the beginning. Let's have two terms here. One of them is recognition, which is not for everyone. It will be a recognition is not a recognition if all the 10 persons get recognition, then it loses its value. A recognition must be for one or two at least, all right? But let's use another terminology, which you did at the beginning, and that's attention. Attention still can be for everyone and must be for everyone. Although Abdullah and Muhammad are recognized this month, my attention is for everyone, every month, every day, every week. And if we look at the skill and will matrix, we learn one valuable thing, that a leader gives different attentions, personalized, customized to each team member. Do you think if Muhammad is the best performance, he does not need attention just because he's there, he's on his own autopilot? No. He also needs some sort of attention, and the leader knows what type of attention Muhammad needs, what type of attention the skyrocketing Abdullah needs, and what type of attention the people watching these two need. So if we can give a solution for the viewers as leaders, attention you can give everyone every day. And it's, by the way, it's free of charge. You don't have to spend anything. And even if they see their friend got recognized, they will not see this as favoritism. So combine recognition with attention. Nobody will look at any recognition as favoritism.
Well, see, we started out saying this is about leadership and favoritism. The implication of that is that the leader or whoever favors one person, right? They favor Muhammad because he's the number one performer. Or maybe he favors whoever. But there's one person, maybe two. But from what you've just said, and picking up what I said about attention, is leaders should favor everyone.
Beautiful.
Right? So there's no single favorite in the group. He gives the attention and the focus to every individual in the team, right? And he knows how they all work. He knows how to help them improve. He knows how to motivate each of them to perform at their best, to perform individually well, and to perform as a team really well, right?
Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, even at home, my two daughters, if I ask one of them, "Hey, how was school today?" What would the other one say? Dad, you didn't ask me. Okay, I'm coming to you. All right. So all your people living with you, working with you, they look for your attention, and attention is becoming a very uh, priceless, invaluable currency these days, and rare.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and this is focusing on attention and favorites and the plural of favorites. When you have a leader that you all really love working for or with, and this is fantastic, of course, the leader has created this culture because of his or her behavior. So it's then what's going to happen is that because he treats everyone equally, because he gives everyone individual attention. So often we say that the leader, someone creates favorites because he gives an individual attention.
Mm.
But here, what I'm talking about is that the leader gives everybody individual attention. And it's like what you said when you say to your daughter, "How was school?" The other one's sitting there, wait, what? Ask me, ask me. I'm coming, I'm coming.
Say that again. Sorry, Graham. Say that again. He gives everybody what?
Attention.
Everybody. He,
He gives everybody attention.
no, no. You said he gives everybody individual attention.
Of course,
What?
of course, of course.
Sounds like a paradox, but this is the art of leadership. I love that. Gives everybody individual attention.
And he gives everybody
Beautiful.
almost the same amount of individual attention.
Mm.
It's not going to be 5 minutes for Ali and 35 minutes for Mahmoud, unless Mahmoud has a particular need. Next week, he might give more attention to, but overall, it's going to be balanced. And that's where
I think our episode is a big answer for a big question where leaders are between, if I can summarize, if a leader stands between two extremes to favor someone and to ignore everyone so that I don't fall into the headache of favoritism, some leaders will choose not to favor anyone. And some people will go ahead with favoring someone because I have the data. We are saying no, there is a way in between. You can strike a balance, achieve both by adding favoritism to attention. And favoritism is based on results and based on data, not on negative favoritism. So if that would be a good summary. Yeah.
And look, absolutely. And if I was the sales manager, which I'm not, I would be focusing on Muhammad as much as I'm focusing on Ali and anybody else in the team. I would be giving my focus to the highest performer, of course, and I would be giving my attention to the lowest performer because I want him or her to be able to improve all the time. And then we can talk about another time. We can talk about how you can help people improve. Certainly, we know that when people are given encouragement, I keep saying 98% of people say they perform at their best when they're given encouragement. When they're given not just encouragement, but as you picked up the words that I was saying before, as they're given individual focused attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you do that, if leaders do that, 98% of people are going to say, wow, this is what I want. This is why it's really great to work in this environment. It's really good to know that we are individually, as well as a team, respected, we're challenged, we're motivated, we're recognized. And there is not one single favorite except our leader. He is our favorite.
Beautiful. So, and we want to work with this leader. We want to work for this leader.
And
Yeah.
it's wonderful when I hear people saying, I don't want to leave this department because I love working with this person. I want to perform at my best. working with this person. I love hearing that, but I want to hear people in the organisation knowing that when they move to another department because of their career progression, that the leader that's going to be there is going to give them the same sort of leadership as the leader that they love working with. That is a challenge. We've got to work on getting some wonderful leaders across the board. Mohammed?
Yeah.
Let me just be brutally honest with you. You're not a favourite.
Neither is Phoebe.
No. Individually, yes, you are getting individual attention. And I hope...
And we love working with our leader. And I think our viewers can benefit more. I can mention the LPI. I don't know why it came across my mind when you talked about individual attention. As much as you as a leader think that you are giving equal attention, the leadership practices inventory, which is an assessment by your constituents and your peers, and you know that, all right? You will be surprised as a leader that you are giving probably less attention to some people and more attention to some people through the communication questions at least, or inspire a shared vision at least. So the LPI tool can serve as a good indicator to you, a good gauge, whether how much attention you are giving and where exactly the attention is missed or where the attention is really good.
Yes,
just a side note.
And look, the LPI, the Leadership Practices Inventory, is a fantastic development tool. No question. Fantastic. So thank you for bringing that up. And we might talk about the LPI in more detail, actually, now that you mentioned in another of our videos and podcasts. Mohammed, sadly, our time has come. And although you've been my favourite for the last 30 or so minutes, all right, you've been my only.
Yeah, I'm all you have now today.
Have a great week ahead, Mohammed. This has always been, it's a pleasure. And I wish you a great, successful, week ahead.
Thank you.
Lead others.
Same to you and same to our viewers. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, and please come back to us. Please send any emails of request or comment or objections or whatever to Graham, Graham, at leadershipchallengemiddleeast.com. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.